when $1 million goes missing, $1 million, people will look for it. But when 21 trillion goes missing, it's that's on a whole different level. In other words, the level of complicity with respect to that, it's not, hey, somebody just pilfered 21 trillion dollars. No, this is invested, ferreted away for something, black ops or whatever. So it's
right. That's what, Doug, yeah. That's what funds the secret space program.
That's exactly
that's
right.
what funds everything.
Right. But I just want to mention one thing, because I can guarantee you this, and I don't have much, and this is the only thing I'm going to say. I don't have much. I don't have much tolerance for the self-professed Christians out there who say, well, you know what? We heard the same spiel. I guarantee you, I'm going to get at least one email on this. We heard the same spiel for Y2K, and look what happened. Okay. The only thing I want to say.
That's something with you. What happened? What people don't realize, what happened at Y2K?
Yeah, go ahead.
They got what they wanted. They developed a global computer network. They developed Skynet. That was the plan, to make every computer on the planet talk to one another. That was the plan that they weren't telling you about, but they wanted to orchestrate, and they used that so that every computer network on the planet could talk to one another and communicate without problem. That's what I think that Y2K was done. So when they said nothing happened, something always happens. When they're pushing something like that, watch out. Something is going on. When the right hand is taking your attention, drawing your attention, you better watch what the left hand is doing.
Hey, Doug, I want to read this, and Bob, this just came in real time from someone I know who's very, very well informed, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who mock this statement, you better take this statement serious. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Those of you who don't know Jesus, I would seriously be considering asking him to reveal himself to you. This is from a FEMA high-ranking person, okay? Roughly 25.8 million people were affected by these three storms, 8% of the entire U.S. population, and this number does not include those impacted by western wildfires. 4.5 million survivors registered for FEMA assistance. FEMA's individual and household program have approved almost $2.5 billion in disaster assistance to respond to 3 hurricanes. National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, policyholders filed approximately 121,000 claims, and the NFIP has paid over $5 billion to them. I want to put everybody in remembrance of the Deagle report. Listen, I want to share something. If I put up people on my website, like, for instance, that do a tremendous job of research, I don't think that some people realize, like when All News Pipeline, I get a lot of flack. Stephen Sanford did probably one of the best investigative report. He takes hours and days to go out and research stuff. So you know what? I don't care who says. I don't believe that anymore. You better start paying attention, because the Deagle report says that, within a matter of less than 7 years, the population of the United States goes down from 340 million to about 60 million people. So people say, well, what do they know that we don't know? Everything we're telling you, they know. Because Bob knows people. I know people. We all know people. And those people will share what they know if we, who have the microphone, are at least trying to be as honest as we can. For those of you that understand the United States' desire for coffee and for cocoa, I don't think you can get better products than the Inner Health products, Inner Health Botanicals. And again, the idea is simply this. It's not only good for your health, but people are going to want the N-word. And Bob, that's something that everybody forgets. They'll talk about calories, but they forget the N-word. And the N-word is nutrition. Please, we're giving you what we know in real time. And Bob, the situation with tell people, you've represented ready-made resources in your company, how many different long-term storage food places are, but tell them how little when it comes to when a panic hits, tell them how long it takes these food companies to recover to where they can even ship stuff.
It's gone out, Steve, as far as a year. That and again, when we are close to the America hits the brick wall moment, and when that happens, there will not be a recovery. The food will be cleaned out within days, and then you will not get it, and then you'll be at the position of having to double for whatever you can get. One thing I want to point out, Steve, the thing I like about Numanna so much is they present an honest diet with that program. I have seen food supplies where they say 2,000 calories a day, and you look through it, and there's cans of sugar drinks, orange sugar drink. It's disingenuous. Also, one of the big things you have to watch for, and Numanna has done it so good, is they say it has, so many servings. Well, when you look at it, a serving might be 200 calories. Well, they are doing it in such a manner as to make you think, when they say serving, you think meal. And a serving is not a meal. And so when you buy these food supplies that advertise so many servings, you're not buying what you think you're buying. Numanna provides 2,000 calories a day in their packages. So you're going to get a food supply that's well balanced, and it is going to present to you the ability to eat in such a manner where you can keep working. Some of these food supplies you're going to buy, and you're going to think you're going to go through them very quick, and on top of that, it's food that's not going to be it's not going to have any nutrition in it. They're out there. Steve, you've been in it almost twice as long as I have, but I have seen everything under the sun of people selling what they're calling a food supply. And you look at it and you go, my gosh, this isn't a year food supply. This is a couple months food supply, and there's no nutrition. So,
right.
Daniel has done it good. You're getting food that is nutritionally sound, and it's going to give you enough that you can, actually live and work. I mean, if you're eating 750 calories a day in some of these food supplies, you're not going to be doing much except for getting thinner. And so just watch it because. Go ahead, Steve.
And Bob, I think one of the things too, I insisted, and Daniel, we're talking about Daniel Brigham, the owner of Numanna, ladies and gentlemen, and he went out and busted it and said, look, we need beef, we need chicken, we need with no hormones, no growth hormones, we need, really good meat protein. And look, I've sold MREs for years. I used to sell them by the pallet loads. Bob, you have meals ready to eat. I've sold everything from Alpine Air to Mountain House to various, Richmore, everything. Now, I want to make something clear to people. Alpine Air Foods used to be an American company. It's now been bought out by the Swiss. And if you understand who Nestle is, Nestle doesn't own Alpine, but they're smart. They understand that when you can provide food or flavoring or whatever, you've got basically business longevity. But because the mainstream doesn't get it yet, and they will when the trucker strikes come or for whatever other reason, the whole idea of long-term storage food is to minimalize and actually, if you can't get rid of any refrigeration requirements to store it, because number one, you don't know if you'll have electricity. You plan as if you won't have electricity, but you can still heat it up in whatever you can heat it up, and you can rehydrate it, and you can do what you can do. And my chief complaint, and Bob, you nailed it. This is my chief, my flashpoint, my F point, my flashpoint for the record, is that you absolutely a serving to equal a meal. And it takes honesty to say, look, here is how you derive the calories. Here's what the protein content is. Here's what the carbohydrate content is. And especially, again, when you're doing inner health, man, they spell it out. Their inner food is amazing stuff. It's live food. Most people mocked Y2K. I know, Doug, you'll get that. You already brought it up. I said, you realize you people that bought the food then probably had some of the only non-chemtrail food when they started putting the really bad chemtrail stuff in, outside of that which was growing, in greenhouses. So the point is that everybody, they overlook the obvious whenever they have, like, for instance, a pandemic warning, whether it's fake Ebola or, Madagascar or whatever, or some combo pox, combination of this and that and the other thing, there's something more sinister going on underneath. And ladies and gentlemen, this is, you take your life in your own hand. Doug, I wish that, I know there are people that can't afford this stuff, but everybody who is thinking of prioritizing whatever, even going to canned foods. Look, it's not organic, but, it's got more calories than the stuff you pay more money for if it is a lying food storage program. We should call that an LFSP. So, ladies and gentlemen, please consider what we're hearing, sharing with you tonight, and I pray you really hear it. And we can give you all the biblical, the time of Joseph, Noah, the little boy with the loaves and fishes. That was the first prepper in the New Testament. His mother knew he might be gone longer. And I was really praying about that, Doug, Joe, and Bob, when I got that. Lord, am I giving people some kind of a false hope or a non-biblical approach? And instantly the Lord dropped that into my spirit. So it is a biblical perspective. The wise man sees evil coming and hides himself from it.